A third of the way through the AFL season, it's time for another edition of Eyes on AFL. In this series, we take some of your AFL opinions and takes and delve into them. Today we look at one of the AFL's most inconsistent teams, two potential top 4 teams that are in good form, and the reactions from the media about teams in this early part of the season. First off, we start with Pickle Green Guy. He commented, "Fremantle's entire game depends on which side of the bed they wake up on. This might be true. Maybe it's not the side of the bed they wake up on, but where the bed is. At home, Fremantle has been more than solid, but away from Optus Oval, the struggles have been real. A good comparison is the Gold Coast Suns from last season. The Suns lost just one home game in 2024, but only picked up a couple away wins, and that was until it was too late. With Freo, the ongoing employment agreement with Justin Longmuir does add another layer of complexity. He is fighting for his job, and this is still the equal 6th youngest list. But there is no doubt that they are capable. Home wins against the Western Bulldogs and Adelaide show they can limit opposition scoring, but also break away in space and cause damage on the scoreboard. But away losses, especially in Victoria, show the opposite. The St Kilda game was hard to watch and resulted in 33 points scored. Against Geelong, they gave up 147 and gave up 107 points to Melbourne at the MCG. No doubt their top level names are good and generally consistent, but what about the next rung of players? We as fans often get sucked into the big names and forget about the bottom 8 players which often make the big difference. Heath Chapman, Michael Frederick, Sam Switkowski, Jai Amos, Matthew Johnson and Joshua Draper are some of the still very young names in this Dockers team that do have big swings in their performance. At home they have played great, but away they haven't, and all of this has impact on Fremantle's ability to defend and move the ball. Many have pointed towards the senior coach for their away form, but they have shown multiple times this season they can still play breathtaking football. At 4-4, they are well in the hunt, and even going 50-50 away from Optus from this point onwards would give Fremantle a shot at top 4 and most likely at least a home final in week 1. Next up, Bulldogs I7C believes the Bulldogs are top 4 contenders and that the Crows are on fire. Both sides have had nice starts to the season. Let's start with the Dogs. Injuries might have been the making of them. With Bonampelli and Adam Treloar out early, it's allowed Matt Kennedy and Joel Frazier especially to get on-ball minutes and build up midfield depth. Kennedy is currently a top 10 rated player in the AFL, and Frazier in the past 5 weeks has been a top 20 rated player. So when you throw back in Bonampelli and Treloar, things become a lot easier, and for the opposition, a lot harder. The Bulldogs are now 3rd for clearance differential per game, and have used up to 6 individuals on ball at centre bounces. And this form is still without Sam Darcy manning the forward line. Scoring has been no problem with his absence, as the load has been shared, and the Bulldogs have so far kicked the 2nd most points in the competition. Still, they will need Darcy back at some point because he is so special, but the Dogs, with a lot of the other teams, are in that top 4 mix for sure, and their midfield is leading the way. Now the team that has scored the most points is the Adelaide Crows. They are on fire, especially at home. A 4-1 record at the Adelaide Oval is important, and all the Crows need to do is roughly split their away games, and finals should be on the cards. There is no doubt in terms of manpower, the Crows possess the best forward 50 group. 3 big forwards, each with their own specialties, and then workhorses in Ben Keys and Alex Neil-Bullen who can get up and down the ground. Throw in Josh Rochelli and a bit of Isaac Rankin who is still playing large on-ball minutes, and it's a hard group to keep down for the whole 4 quarters. The Bulldogs on-ballers are their strength, and clearly this forward group is what the Crows have as a leg up on the competition. Both teams are looking strong to start 2025. 91 Caesar makes a great point. He says, "I feel like this might have been one of the most overreactive set of opening rounds in a long time." Pointing towards Collingwood's bounce back from opening round, the Blues' form after 4 losses, and the yo-yo opinions people have had about the Adelaide Crows. From the outside, this does seem real, especially if you watch a lot of the media shows. In Clubland, I'm sure the whole picture of the season is taken into account. Brisbane last year proved this point. Chris Fagan kept telling his team and the media they were playing well despite a 3-5 start, pointing towards key metrics like their defensive profile and shots at goal per game. In the end, we all know what happened at the end of the season. But because of the weekly media cycle and need to create shows, this is where some of the overreactions come from. It's not anyone's fault and actually shows the health of the competition. If a team plays bad, they get called out, and if the next week they play well, that gets acknowledged. Collingwood's opening round is the best example of this. Now the big opinions like predicting top 4s and premiers weekly is a bit silly because of where we are in the season, but again, the need to create things for fan consumption is a daily task, and often the more out there these opinions are, the more attention they get. But trust me, inside clubs, this is far from what is happening. The final comment from today's video is from Tiger Walser, who says Richmond will finish higher than North Melbourne and West Coast. This is looking pretty good through the first third of the year. Some people said the Tigers' 2025 list was one of the worst in modern times, but 2 wins so far proves that wrong. All the senior players have been solid to this point, and they haven't been ravaged by injuries like they were in 2024. Important senior players like captain Toby Nankervis is still having a big influence on a lot of games, and midfielders in Jacob Hopper and Tim Taranto have been able to stay healthy and contribute. And any team led by a big key forward like Tom Lynch will have a bit of aggression and passion, and we've seen that all season to go alongside his important goals. You would think they will finish above West Coast, but North Melbourne might be the big opposition. They do have 1 win on the board, but have a higher percentage by 13, and their past couple weeks have resulted in close losses. Either way, the signs for Richmond are good, and when they get up and running, they clearly have the ability to cause an upset, as they did in round 1 against Carlton, and then against their old coach in Damien Hardwick. Thanks for watching another edition of Eyes on AFL. If you have any AFL takes or opinions, leave them in the comments below, and they might be featured in a future video.